What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be showcasing how to activate the heroic triggers on every single public event in Destiny 2. Now, the reason I'm making this video today is because so many new Guardians have entered Destiny 2 from Christmas. If you are one of those people, welcome! And activating heroic public events are an extremely important part for any players, but especially new ones, because heroic public events give you a ton of experience, and farming them is the most efficient way to both level up from 1 to 20 and even 25, and to get great loot. In addition to that, many of the other guides I've seen were made hastily and are incomplete. This video is 100% complete, including the new DLC public event added in the Curse of Osiris. So if you are a veteran player and you already know all of this stuff, you also know how annoying it is to have a public event complete while you're trying to activate the trigger. So don't hate, the more people that know this information is definitely better for everyone. And so, let's get started. Now, a general tip for all new players, make sure to rally to the flag. At the location of every public event, there's going to be a flag, and that flag is going to disappear when the public event actually starts. But if you get there a little bit before, go up to the flag, you will be prompted to rally to it. This is going to give you a full supercharge and full ammo, including full power ammo. So if you have a rocket launcher, if you have a sniper rifle, if you have a shotgun, that's going to completely fill with ammo from rallying to this flag, and that is extremely useful for the public event you're about to do. So always try to rally to the flag. Moving on, let's get started with the heroic triggers. Now, the first public event you're probably going to encounter is Glimmer Extractions. Now, for a Glimmer Extraction, what you need to do is go to a certain area, kill 4 specified fallen, and then you're going to be prompted to move to another area, do the same thing, another area, do the same thing, and then you'll complete the public event. But to activate the heroic mode, what you need to do is, before you kill all 4 specified fallen in an area, you need to kill this mining device. You'll shoot it and damage numbers will appear, keep shooting it and it will eventually explode. It does have a lot of health, so using a power weapon like a shotgun, like a rocket launcher, is going to help you take that down a lot quicker. Now, this same device will appear in all 3 areas, and as long as you kill the device before you kill all 4 specified fallen in all 3 areas, the 3rd time you finally blow up this device on the 3rd area, it's going to activate the heroic mode of this public event, and there's going to be a glimmer pile that appears. You have to stand within the white circle around this glimmer pile for it to go from 0 to 100%. Once you get to 100%, you will complete this public event. Now, as you're charging up the percentiles, you're also going to encounter a ton of enemies, including this big boss fallen that is going to spawn, and he is a little bit of trouble to take down. With multiple people, simply make sure that some people are out fighting the fallen and other people are still on that glimmer pile charging the objective. Now, something you should know, if the timer goes to 0, you still have a chance to complete this public event as long as you are standing within the glimmer pile and get it to 100%. If you step outside, it will instantly complete with an unfinished public event, so you'll get worse rewards. Now, moving on from there, the next public event we're going to cover is the Ether Harvest. This one has a pretty simple objective: kill the massive servitor. That is it. Once you kill this guy within the time limit, you will beat this public event. Now, that is really it for how to do it normally. The heroic trigger comes from killing the smaller servitors. So as you damage this big servitor, you'll notice that once you get it down a little bit of health, then it's going to become immune, and one smaller servitor is going to be near it with kind of some goop coming off of that servitor and going on to the big one. This is what makes it immune. Once you kill that smaller servitor, it'll become able to damage again. Around halfway through damaging the big servitor, 3 smaller servitors are going to appear. They again are going to be gooping up the big servitor, but you can still damage the big servitor. So this is where you can activate the heroic trigger. If you kill all 3 of these small servitors within quick succession, it will go into the heroic public event, and the big servitor is now going to be taking around half the damage he normally would. So if a shot from your gun did 100 damage, now it's going to be doing 50. So it's going to take a lot longer to bring this guy down. Therefore, I wouldn't actually recommend activating heroic if you are solo, just because it takes so long to bring this guy down by yourself. Next up, we have the injection rig public event. Now for this public event, you're going to have a bunch of Cabal around this injection rig structure. However, only one of them, a yellow health scion, will be marked as a target. Once you kill this yellow health scion, it's going to create a shield around the injection rig, and it's going to start to slowly damage anyone inside until they die. But while this is happening, the vents are going to open, starting with the top vent, then the middle vent, and then the bottom vent. As the vent open is going to expose a glowing, vent, and shooting this vent is going to have damage numbers appear. If you shoot this vent enough, it will be destroyed, and you will see smoke coming out of the vent to indicate that you have destroyed it. Now, once you destroy all 3 of these vents, so the top one, the middle one, and then the final bottom one, it will activate the heroic mode of this public event. Now some tips here. You can actually destroy multiple vents within one evacuate sequence, which is when the damage is being applied to anyone within the shield. So if you're quick, if you have a very good rocket launcher, something like the Wardcliff coil, which you can with one shot take down a vent, you can take down a vent, reload, take down the middle vent, and even take down the third vent, all in one evacuation sequence. If this does happen, you will still have to kill 2 more scions, like you have to kill 3 scions in total before a big Cabal guy will spawn and it will trigger the heroic mode. Another quick tip is that at the very beginning of this public event, all of the vents will be open, so if you're quick, you can take down a vent before this even starts really. Moving on, we have another Cabal public event with the Cabal Extraction. In this public event, a smaller structure is going to come down from the sky, and there's going to be a white circle around this mining apparatus. Standing within this circle is going to charge a meter to 100%. Now, normally, just standing in here enough, killing Cabal, like defending yourself and getting it to 100% is how you do the normal public event. Now you will also have to watch out for missiles coming from the sky. There's going to be these red lasers from space indicating where the missiles will land. So simply avoid those. If they're over near one side of the circle, go to the other side. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, the heroic mode is actually very easy to activate. So, you do need to stand in the circle to get the meter to around 30-35%. At this point, it's going to trigger a Cabal ship to spawn up in the sky. Now, once this ship spawns, all you need to do to trigger the heroic mode is to kill the ship. Shoot it with guns, with rocket launchers, with whatever you have. Once you kill the ship and it explodes, then a big Cabal guy is going to spawn, and that will be the heroic version of this public event. And as soon as you kill the big Cabal guy, you will complete the heroic mode. Now, a couple of quick but very helpful tips here. Once you get to 35%-ish and the ship spawns, you don't have to stand within the circle anymore. You can get out of there, get to a safer spot where you're not being shot at, and focus on killing that ship to trigger heroic, and then simply come back and kill the big guy. Also, the ship will do 2 kind of circles of the map and go back to that same spot twice once it has spawned. So if you miss the first time and it leaves, then you're going to want to just wait until it kind of comes back. Now, you can shoot this ship no problem with normal guns as it flies pretty high above you, but it's going to eventually come to a stationary rest for just a couple of seconds near this public event, and that's your opportunity to throw grenades, hit it with a rocket launcher, etc. Alright, now next up, we have the Taken Blight public event. This is something that I still see veteran players not knowing how to activate. But initially, what you're regularly going to do is you're going to have this massive sphere, and it's going to offshoot several other taken blights. You go in there, you damage the taken blights in their center, and then you kill the taken blights. It moves to a new area. You keep doing this, it'll eventually complete this public event. But to activate the heroic mode, you do basically none of that. What you need to do is go inside one of these offshoot taken blights, as you'll see me in the background gameplay. You go inside and then you step back out, and then you're going to have a bonus, a blight receding bonus for around 5 seconds. It'll appear on the left side of your screen. For those 5 seconds, you can damage the massive sphere that's right in the middle of this public event. If you don't have this bonus, any damage you do to the sphere will be immune. So, all you need to do to activate the heroic mode is to jump into one of the offshoot blights, jump back out, and shoot the sphere for those 5 seconds. Higher damaging weapons like rocket launchers are great because it does take a lot of damage to trigger heroic. Then, when the damage numbers are immune, you jump back into the blight, jump back out, damage the sphere, just keep jumping in and out, constantly getting that bonus, and then shooting the sphere. Once you do enough damage to the sphere, it's going to trigger the heroic version of this public event, and a big taken baddie will spawn. You kill this taken boss, and then that will complete this public event. Okay, after that we have the Arsenal Walker public event. Initially, a bunch of Fallen will be dropped out of a ship, a captain will be marked, you have to kill this captain for the Walker to spawn in again from a Fallen ship. Now once the Walker does spawn, you're going to shoot one of his legs, and there's going to be yellow precision hit numbers for doing so. Once you shoot enough damage into one of his legs, he's going to recoil from the damage, like his leg is going to explode. He's going to expose the weak point in its body, and shooting this weak point is really going to be how you take this guy down. But at the same time he's doing this, where he goes down, exposes his weak point, 3 arc spheres are going to spawn. You're going to grab these spheres and take them to the devices that are on either side of these blue semi-spheres that are guarding Fallen cannons. Now it sounds complicated, but again, all you really do is grab those objectives, you take those spheres over to the devices you can interact with next to the blue semi-spheres, you just put them in. And then once you activate each one of those devices on either side of the 3 cannon locations so that you can get access to cannons. Then you want to damage the Walker again enough until he goes down and spews out more electrical spheres, and then you want to take those 3 spheres and activate the 3 devices that you didn't activate before. Essentially, you want to activate all 6 devices that are guarding the 3 different Fallen cannons. Once all 3 cannons are available, all of the blue spheres are down, then it's going to activate the heroic mode of this public event, and it's going to drop another Fallen Walker into the arena, and you have to kill both. But that's it, and with the help of these Fallen cannons, it's a lot easier than you would think. Alright, now moving on from there, we have the Vex Construction public event. Here, you're going to have a central object where the Vex are trying to sacrifice themselves to. So if the Vex get within a close distance of this central object, they will start to glow, they will kind of crouch down and sacrifice themselves to this object. If you do nothing, you can shoot them last minute as they're glowing, as they're in the midst of sacrificing themselves, and save that objective. But if 10 total Vex sacrifice themselves, then you will lose this public event. So keep that in mind. Now, how to activate heroic? Well, normally you just defend. That's all you need to do is defend this central conflux. But you'll see kind of goop trails outlying 3 different directions. Follow these trails of goop, and it will lead you to these hidden Vex rings. If you stand within these rings, you will see a blue glow rise at the edge of the ring, and that will indicate that you're activating this correctly. And then you're going to have to stand within this ring to have a percentile go all the way up to 100%. Now there's 3 rings total for all of these public events, so make sure you have 1 person on each of these 3 rings, or 2 people on one person back in the middle defending, something like that. If you're trying to do this solo, it's nearly impossible to get the timing right, so you do want to have a teammate helping you defend and activating these rings at the same time. Now, once you do get all of these different 3 rings to 100%, it's going to automatically activate the heroic mode. You're still going to have around a minute or more remaining of defense time, so there's going to be even harder enemies that do spawn, all trying to make their way to that central conflux. So you are going to have to kind of kick your defense into high gear. But that's it. You simply wait out the timer until it hits 0, and then you complete this public event. And again, if you activate the rings, you complete the heroic public event. Alright, now after that, we have the Witch's Ritual public event. This only occurs in one specific place on Titan. Now for this public event, you're going to enter into this area and see 2 different glowing green platforms that you're going to have to stand on. If there's multiple people, make sure there's one person or multiple people standing on each of the 2 different platforms at the same time. Because there's going to be 2 witches that are near the massive hive gate that are going to be immune. They're protected by a shield. Now, standing on these platforms is going to disable their respective witch. So there's going to be a witch to the left side. If you stand on the left platform long enough, it's going to disable the witch's shield, and then you can damage and kill that witch. The same is for the right side witch and platform. So you stand on these platforms, disable the shields, and kill both of the witches. Now, after you kill both of the witches, you're then going to have to keep standing on the 2 platforms and kill both of the crystals. There's going to be crystals that were before covered by a spherical white shield, just like the witches were. So they're immune at first, but if you stand on these platforms long enough, just like the witches, the white shield is going to disappear, and then you can shoot these crystals. It doesn't take much to kill them. Make sure to shoot the one on the left and the one on the right, and then once both of those crystals are killed, it will activate the heroic public event. At this point, you're going to have a massive night boss spawn out of the hive teleportation doorway at the very front of this arena, and then simply kill this knight. It's essentially the Dark Blade from Destiny 1. So he is going to actually disappear and then reappear in random locations, so he could reappear right behind you, so be aware of that. But once you kill this guy, you're going to complete the heroic public event. And after that, we now have the last public event in Destiny 2 to cover, and that is the new DLC public event with the Curse of Osiris, the Vex Crossroads. So, once this public event begins, you're going to have 2 different objectives on the right and the left side of the central object. Now, all you need to do is stand near one of these different areas and kill Vex up to 100%. Then a boss is going to spawn. Sometimes it's a Hydra, sometimes it's a Cyclops, but it's going to be a marked yellow health boss. You take this guy down, and he's going to drop spheres. You pick up these spheres, and you go and you slam them on these 2 separate objects that you can see me do in the background. So there's 2. If you're the only one there, you're going to have to go to one side, then pick up the other one, go to the other side. Likely there's going to be multiple people, so just 2 of you grab them and go to the opposite sides. You slam them, again, very close to the area where the boss was, and then that's going to trigger the next objective. Now, you do have to do both the right and the left side. The second one that you finish, whatever the second finished one, the next objective is going to spawn near there. So if you slam the right side first, then go over to the left side, then you hang around the left side because the ball in the middle is going to rotate and then point off into the distance, and then it'll become a man cannon. So you jump into this man cannon, you'll be shot way across to a separate island essentially. Now on this island, you're then going to have to, just like you did before, kill a yellow health boss. Once you kill this boss, he's going to drop the spheres. You take these spheres and slam them into the central area of this island. However, once you do this, the heroic possibility or the heroic trigger will activate. So then, once you slam into this central object on the island, you go to the back of where the island is, the back of where you were shot in from, and then there's going to be these Vex diamonds that appear. You shoot the Vex diamond and it will blow up. Then there's going to be a platform that spawns. You jump on this platform and more Vex objects are going to spawn. Kill these Vex objects in quick succession. If you take too long to kill them, the platforms will actually disappear and you'll fall to your death. So kill all of the Vex objects very quickly, then another platform will spawn, you jump on that other platform, you kill the Vex objects. Keep doing that until you can finally make it onto the very top of this island. There's going to be a Vex ring that you're going to have to stand on. If you stand on this ring enough, the white edges will build themselves up, and then you will see heroic mode activated. Now you still have to go all the way across to the other island on the other side and kill that boss, and then, you know, take his sphere and activate it in the center of that island. You don't have to do the heroic trigger again. Like, you won't have to shoot those objects and then jump on the different platforms that spawn and make it up to the top again. You only have to do that in the first island you go to. So once you do the objectives on both of the two islands, and of course activate the heroic trigger on one of them, you then shoot yourself back into the middle of the map, and then there's going to be a massive Gate Lord that spawns. Now, you just kill the Gate Lord, but there is one more mechanic you should be aware of. The Gate Lord will, every once in a while, generate a shield around him that makes him literally invincible. At this point, you're going to have another boss spawn on the right or left side of this small inner arena. You kill this boss, and they drop a bunch of spheres again, so you pick one of those spheres up, you jump to the very top of this little center arena, you slam the sphere there, and that's going to take down the Vex Gate Lord shield and allow you to damage him once again. And there you have it. Once you kill the Gate Lord, it will complete this public event. And so guys, there is every single heroic trigger for every single public event in Destiny 2. I really hope you enjoyed, and definitely, guys, new players and friends who have people who just got the game for Christmas, all of that stuff, make sure they check out this video or other videos like this, because again, activating public events and having that knowledge is extremely important. If you're not doing heroic public events, you're missing out on a ton of experience, on a ton of loot, and you're making veteran players pull their hair out. So please get this information around. Guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. Now, if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.